We just did the MIdWest Haunt tour. It's a little late in the game to be shooting the reviews because we just got done yesterday, but it's been a very tiresome week actually. So we're gonna give a brief description of each haunt and tell what our thoughts are. Not to critique them completely, but they are worth the review. Trust me with this one. So we started off the haunt with the first one,
Dent Schoolhouse.
So Dent Schoolhouse was a daytime haunt we did, and there was no actors in it though.
No, plus there were some parts that they were rebuilding.
It was very odd placement for the house itself. I wasn't expecting it to be kind of like right by a highway, and it's like it's right there, you know.
Right.
I think Dawn, your girlfriend, said it perfectly. Was that in the daytime, that haunt was creepy.
Right, with the lights on.
Yeah. It's the ambiance you get from it. It's just the feel and what.
Yeah, I think it was a school at one point. And that's like the first part of the haunt is like an old, beat up, rundown, falling apart school, and that's what you really felt when you first enter.
The thing with the ambiance and the haunt, what I learned from MIdWest after doing X amount of haunts, is some of these smells and these things you get are made. Some of them are natural, but some of them are made though. Like the Froggy's Fog. It's
plug for Tater there.
Yeah, I got you, Tater. And so I told you I'd bring you out over here. He makes some really good fog juice, and it smells like disgusting old bodies or like a crematorium or something that's random that you never thought you would smell inside of, like fog juice.
Right.
I would say once the Dent School haunt is completely built, guys, it's going to be really worth the price going to it. I think from there we went to it was
Waverly.
Waverly. Now this is the oddball, I call it.
It's Waverly Hills Sanatorium, and it was an actual. This wasn't a haunted attraction. It was an actual haunt.
Yeah.
Or a haunted place.
Yeah. It was kind of perceived as a haunt itself, but then we got there, it was a haunted place. But it was intriguing to see though. We got a history lesson on how about the TB clinic wasn't in the best conditions.
The way they treated their patients, and plus they were overcrowded, and now it's run down. Again, dilapidated. All the windows were smashed out of it, and from what we heard, it is actually haunted.
Did you experience anything when we were there at all?
No.
I know when I was on the 5th floor, I didn't say it out loud, but I felt someone kind of tugging at my shirt, and I had turned around, and you were facing the other way, so I know it wasn't you. It is a haunt, and it is a haunted place too. The haunt is on the 1st floor, and I would say that the artwork for the haunt is really interesting to see how they're going about it. Like this thing is like, if you walk down there and without a flashlight, you will get lost, and just don't go down the body chute. From there we went to the 7th Street haunt. What I thought was cool is that we went from going to a daytime, no actors in their haunt, to going to, hold on a second. We went from a no-person haunt, the first, to a haunted house, to a haunt that was usually done at nighttime, done in the daytime. And this is our first experience of actually seeing the actors doing their job and doing like...
On this trip.
On this trip, yeah. I was very intrigued. They had like something like a beach party when you walked in, and it was pretty cool though, because they were really playing off on that beach party and getting you into it.
With clowns.
No, you can't do it without clowns. I mean, the clowns they're hilarious.
Right.
I think he said that he didn't have all his actors there that day too, so it was kind of a not full staffed. So I imagine when it was full staffed, they probably have a lot more things going on the outside, maybe a lot more things going on the inside. But this is the first haunt I've ever seen that actually starts you off in a movie theater. So they had a movie theater in that haunt, which is
in the beginning.
In the beginning. So the 7th Street haunt was based off of witches.
Yes. And witch hunters.
And witch hunters.
It was very well put together. The actors pulled it off very well.
Yes.
And it was a good haunt. It was really good.
Now, I do have a lot of favorites in this MIdWest haunt, and this next one is probably one of my all-time favorites. And I am wearing the shirt right now, and if you guys know this one at all, this is the Devil's Attic. The Devil's Attic was, amazing. It was beautiful.
The sets, the actors, the whole theme, everything, every scene was done to precision, to the slightest detail. It was a lot had like movie, horror movie themed scenes. Even though there wasn't, when you first go in, there's like a narrator that tells you the story of kind of the scenes you're gonna see, but it wasn't a linear, is that the right word?
Yeah.
Haunt. I mean, it was kind of like,
it wasn't,
I don't want to say a mishmash of scenes, and each one was done. It was just an awesome job for each scene, but it wasn't a set storyline.
Yeah, I loved it. Like they had, my favorite scene other than Hellraiser had it in 13 Ghosts. It was beautiful. Just the sets alone and the actors, the makeup, they did an excellent job. And I have to give you guys a shout out. The Devil's Attic, you have to go to this one. It is amazing. We go to the Haunted Hotel with that, I think.
Yes.
If you have ever gone to a normal haunt, all right, you get scared in there, all right? Yeah, boo, ha, I scared you, ha. These guys are an extreme haunt, and to put to definition what an extreme haunt is, a regular haunt means I can't touch you. These guys are on you. They're there. They're touching you. They're
arm around your neck.
And man, do they do an excellent job doing it. Oh my God.
I just want to say, they say they're an extreme haunt, but they are not to be compared to an extreme haunt like McCamey Manor or Blackout. That's just that's a whole other level right there. You don't have to sign a waiver for this place. You don't get the crap beat out of you. Yeah. You don't get blood thrown on you or choked or any other of that gross stuff. But it's a touch haunt.
The sets were amazing too. There was a part in the set that you thought that was very weird though. And I think you said that why would it be up in there? It makes no sense.
There was one scene that I do question. When you go up the stairs to the second floor, as you reach the top of the stairs, they have a chain link fence to your left. And then there's a car, or a front of a car, that kind of lurches toward, which I've seen this bit before in other haunts. But this one, the car lurches forward, the lights come on, the headlights come on, and the horn blares. That's fine, but I was curious as to why that would be on the second floor of a haunted house. It just didn't seem right to me.
He had an issue with that scene. There's only one scene I had an issue with, and it pissed me off because I was expecting it, and I give you guys a lot of props because I did not expect this to happen. As we walk on the first floor, there's a vibrating floor. The first thing you do when the floor vibrates, you lose balance, you put your hands out and touch the wall. Don't touch the wall. Don't. That fucker shocked me. You guys got me so good. I'm telling you.
They had shock panels on the walls, and that part was black. It was blackened out. So you couldn't see, so you had to. And I've seen that once before at Fright Kingdom in New Hampshire, where they have this one area and it's a total black maze. And so you got to feel around this maze to get around, and they put shock panels on the walls. Yeah. So after the couple times, you know, I'm feeling around with my elbows trying to get through it. But yeah, these shock panels, I actually feel like bug bite. It was more than that. It actually little stings. Like being stung by a bee or something like that.
I don't yell very loud at haunts.
Oh, bullshit.
You know what? We'll talk about that one later. But when I got shocked, I screamed like horror so fucking loud that I think everyone that heard me.
The elevator scene when you first go in. was
Finally.
I've been through haunts, and I'm scared, and the elevator scene was one of the most mind freak things I have ever. And there was 2 actors in there, which you don't see. If I don't want to give too much away, it was freaky. It was totally freaky, and it was just, it really messes with your head.
Oh yeah.
The elevator, and it vibrates and everything. And there's 2 guys in there, and when like they're over here, and the lights go out, and they're literally right on top of you, hanging from the top of the elevator. You got thrown on the bed. Yes.
Okay, that's all I'm gonna say, guys. Thanks, Jenny. I mean, so from a haunted hotel, where do we go from there?
Grim Trails.
So this is the haunt that I'm 50-50 with. They had what I would call a hodgepodge of kind of like mixed different sets and scenes. This haunt, they did have an awesome set. A lot of their sets are very finely built.
One guy builds the sets. Closest thing I can come to is Haunted Overload.
No.
It's not Haunted Overload, but it's very good. It's very good. I thought the sets were very well done.
Yeah.
Like the shacks and the castle was awesome.
Oh, the castle was beautiful.
The castle facade was awesome.
I thought Hansel and Gretel was pretty good though. The way I look at this set, this haunt is Hansel and Gretel stuck out the most to me, only because we're actually in the process of making a script, and it falls into the category what we're working on. And Hansel and Gretel was done perfectly.
And the sets were fantastic.
They were.
And even the small sheds that you actually walk through. But it was an outdoor haunt. It was only I think it's only a quarter of a mile long, but it seemed like you were walking for like an hour. It
curves and turns, and,
yeah.
and it's
you're just going back on yourself, and, walking.
I think the thing, my only issue I have is that we were dead tired by the time we went to that one. Like, we were hungry, we were beat, we wanted to like kind of like relax.
Well, they fed us hot dogs.
And they fed us hot dogs, and we kind of fattened up a little bit, and they're ready to go back in the oven with Hansel and Gretel. I want to say fatty. It's okay, I had 4. It was an average in my book. I thought it was good, but I think that with a little more tweaking for the actors, it would make it just a little bit step up. You gotta ad lib a little more. You gotta change stuff up a little bit. That's my only critique. But the overall, very good on the sets. I love them. It was beautiful.
Day 2 is Wicked World Scaregrounds.
Yes, and this is the fun one, I think.
There's two haunts in this one area. There's 2 attractions in this one haunt.
I think the actors did an excellent job in that first part. Like
the first one was the first attraction was primo.
Oh yes. The theater scene in that one was.
That's another one that has a movie theater at the beginning to kind of narrate what to expect from the haunt.
And first one, if you ever met a girl who was very sassy and very rude and very harsh with her words, this girl played her part perfectly. I thought she was wonderful. I mean, it's kind of weird to say, oh, she was rude, but she was wonderful. She was just beautiful. That whole thing, it was nice. No, she was very good in her role, and she was very on key with everything. But there is one actor that everyone talked about, and we heard about him the whole time. You can yell, you can scream, you can say words in your character, but this guy, simplest thing, creepy, clicks,
creepy,
and screech. It was, whoa. And I think after that point, when the bunny jumped at you with a chainsaw, I thought you almost got hit with a chainsaw.
No, I think I just about crapped myself on that one.
Yeah. A little turd fell out. Yeah.
I don't usually get scared at these things, but that one, there was maybe 2, maybe 3 times I actually jumped.
Yeah.
During this tour. But that one actor, he was definitely disturbing.
Quarantine, we won't go into too much detail on that one, guys. We thought it was a general good concept with a little bit of tweaking. it will be good working.
It had one room that was memorable. It's definitely not one of my favorites. Sorry guys,
Was it the zombie wall?
The zombie wall was cool. That was
Yes.
that was very good. The one with the actually had animatronic zombies and arms coming out.
Yeah.
As you're walking on each side as you're walking through it. That in itself was pretty cool. I like that. The rest of the haunt, it just didn't do it for me.
From there we went to Mayhem Mansion. This is another old rickety shack kind of haunt in my book. And this haunt is a little different though.
It's supposed to be another extreme haunt.
It's a charity haunt though. What they do is they donate proceeds to help out firefighters and police, and the police officer runs it, I believe too. I think he's a cop. All right, and he did say he would touch you in the haunt, and
they're there to scare you.
Yeah, I think he was very prominent on that too. He
was very stern.
Yeah, I'm here.
No sense of humor, but
to scare you.
Right.
He was on you, like, I'm here to scare you. So I thought overall though, and this is a general theme in every haunt we've been to, and it was a Kentucky area so far, kids are fucking creepy. That's all I'm gonna say.
This one had a bar scene. Mayhem Mansion had a bar scene. And they had all these little cups lined up, I guess, for the patrons going through. I didn't know if it was real, if whatever, was just part of the scene, or they actually giving stuff for the patrons to drink. And at first I thought it was kind of a joke, and the guy's trying to hand me one. Hey, does anybody want a drink? And I'm like, yeah, I'll take a drink. I was joking around, so the guy hands me a shot glass. And I'm like, I'm kind of leery about it. And I'm like, well, is this real, or is it just part of a prop or something? Do I actually drink this or what? And I guess you actually are supposed to drink it, and I was one of the very few, at least on our bus, that actually had the cojones enough to actually down this, whatever he had, and it turned out to be vinegar and hot sauce, which was very nasty, and it burned for a little while. I don't recommend it.
No.
But I did it.
Bay Superior Hotel, guys. We get there, the sets were immaculate. They were huge. Like, I
wouldn't say huge. They were just very detailed.
Yeah.
Old house, old sets, sights, sounds. And this was the second haunt that we've been to on this tour that had old music from like the 20s and 30s playing on a phonograph, which you could hear the scratch and the, scratches and the chirps and everything. And it just added to, again, the ambiance of the scenes.
The actors in these ones, guys. There was a scene I remember exactly. I can remember vividly. You walk into this room, and this guy's on friggin' stilts. He just sits up off the stilts.
Out. You walk through halfway through the scene. You don't even know he's there, and you're still looking around at everything. And you have time to look at everything. We didn't have a time limit. This is the only haunt we didn't have a time limit on.
Yeah.
And you go into this room, and you're looking around, Even though it's kind of dark, you can still pretty much see what's in the room. And then he just popped, he's up a little bit, and he's sitting on this desk or chest or something, and he's on stilts. And all of a sudden, he's just right there in front of you.
No words need to be saying for this guy. This guy is squealing like a pig. I don't care. He got me. Because I was not expecting that at all.
And he had this huge knife, sword, whatever it was.
Beautiful, beautiful, and what I think what really got me in that whole set, that whole scare, and that whole set was the scent. Every scent in there was created or was naturally there. Yeah, it was. The attic smelled moldy and dusty. The basement smelled like a basement would. It was just vile. And the chainsaw guy in the end. He had I wouldn't say he had a huge role, but he did play his role very well though, because when he did come out, it was, he got you out of the house. As simple as that. He got you out.
Okay.
So what are your top 3 most memorable haunts?
My top 3, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but Devil's Attic, #1, Face Your Fears, #2, and Haunted Hotels, #3.
So I'll give you the obvious answer here. Haunted Hotel, #1, most memorable. Second would be Devil's Attic, and then from the third one, it has to be the 7th Street Haunt. There'll be a follow-up vlog with this, a separate video for the convention that we'll be having tomorrow. And to follow up, guys, MIdWest was wonderful. I'm definitely doing it again next year. You got me in the mode. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to do it again. From one YouTuber to you guys here, I'd like to give a shout out to the Daily Drawing. I met him at 7th Street Haunt. He has me in one of his vlogs. His link will be down below in the bottom. Follow him, subscribe, and like in every video he has. It'll be greatly appreciated because he's helped me out by featuring me on his channel. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, comment, thumbs up. Follow me on social media, and signing off.